A sellout at one of the most fan-friendly spots in all of sports. The beautiful ballpark by the bay. San Fran's baseball paradise, AT&T Park, overflowing with Cal football fans, making this Emerald Bowl a de facto home game. But the Miami Hurricane faithful are here too, believing this is the start of something big. It's an East Coast, West Coast primetime showdown of tradition-rich programs. Welcome to the 2008 Emerald Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week. Tonight, the young ACC upstarts from South Florida have ventured west. Miami takes on one of the most talented teams from the Pac-10, the Cal Golden Bears. And with their campus just 12 miles away, over the bridge, the sea of blue and gold. What a reception for the Cal Bears. I'm Joe Tessitore, and I welcome you to this much-anticipated Emerald Bowl game, and it's intriguing. You got the veteran, well-skilled Cal team against the young upside of Miami. Let me bring in my partner, Rod Gilmore. Boy, Miami making a lot of headlines recently. Second-year head coach Randy Shannon setting those high standards of discipline. Suspended 5 players, Rod, among them quarterback Robert Marr.
Yeah, you don't lose an 11-game starter at quarterback without it having an impact on your team. This guy was having a really fine first-year season. You see the numbers there, 9 touchdown passes, and he's an athletic guy. He could make plays with his feet. So he was really important to this team, but a lot of Miami fans actually preferred the backup, Ja'Cory Harris. He had a great freshman season, 1,000 yards passing, and he's a very athletic quarterback as well. A lot of confidence in this young man. He expects to have a big ball game.
Well, Cal fans know all about a 2-quarterback system, and the senior quarterback, Nate Longshore, is going to get the start tonight. But their offense is all about one of the most dynamic and fastest players in college football, running back Jahvid Best.
Yeah, I think he's the most explosive running back in all of college football. He is just a highlight reel waiting to happen. Get this, 8 times this season he's broken off a run for 50 yards or more. This guy, 1,400 yards rushing this season pretty quietly without most of the country recognizing this. This guy is incredibly fast, incredibly quick, powerful, and he is the focus of everything Cal does offensively.
Welcome you to the 7th playing of the Emerald Bowl, game easily recognized by the ballpark it is played in, famous as home to the Major League Baseball San Francisco Giants, but once a year reconfigured for college football, and that means some unique circumstances for the teams to deal with. Our Quint Kesnick joins us with more on that. Quint.
You got 2 teams and 1 sideline. This would be standard if it were basketball, hockey, soccer, or lacrosse, but it's unique for football. Right now, I'm standing in no man's land. This is a 10-yard strip. You got Cal to my left, Miami to my right. When you talk to the coaches about this configuration, they have 2 things that concern them. First, substitutions. Can they get their players on the field in a timely fashion? The second would be communicating with the officials. Can they get their attention to initiate a challenge? You take a rectangular field, you put it in a baseball stadium, and we've created some really awkward angles. The left end zone is directly against the left field wall here at this baseball stadium. There's about 1 yard from the end zone to the wall, Joe. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many deep fade routes into that end zone.
No, it reminds me of arena football here, fitting this football field into this stadium, but it's part of the charm. Head coach Randy Shannon, his 2nd year leading the way for the Canes. He was the D-Cord for 6 years, also a linebacker on Miami's national title team back in '87. And Jeff Tedford, 2-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year, took over a 1-win team when he got the job, and he's averaging over 8 wins a year. That's the best in school history. So Cal won the toss, and they will accept. And Matt Bosher will kick off to the very dangerous Jahvid Best and Jeremy Ross. And this is a short kick that is picked up and fielded at the 37-yard line. Let's take a look back at this, Rod.
Well, kick it away from Jahvid Best. They don't want to take the risk of kicking the ball deep, but you have a kicker slipping as well. That's Washer slipping down, and that ball winds up at about the 37-yard line. Pretty good field position for California.
And the Cal offense ready to take the field, and they will do so with senior quarterback Nate Longshore. He earned the start through his solid practices this month, but he's been on a roller coaster ride through his career. 5th all-time at Cal for passing yards, yet has been in and out of the lineup for 2 years, with sophomore Kevin Riley getting plenty of starts. And Longshore to pass here on 1st down. And that is incomplete off the fingertips of Jeremy Ross.
Well, the California offense is at the top of your screen. It's an offense that really has relied on the running game and Jahvid best. The quarterback position has been, at best, inconsistent this year, whether Nate Longshore has been the quarterback or Kevin Riley, who's had more starts than Longshore. They've really had trouble with accuracy, as you just saw in that first play.
Longshore now, and they're setting up the screen to Tucker, and he is blasted right away. Boy, this Miami defense is bringing it tonight. Sean Spence just came in there and ripped that apart.
When we talk about the speed of the Miami defense, it showed up right there. And Sean Spence wasted no time. He just comes flying up right away, shows up, look, right there, flying right in from the inside to the outside. The linebacking spot, he comes in there and makes a play. He's got great speed.
Sean Spence, the freshman All-American. Defensive coordinator Bill Young, who's been everywhere and coached everyone, he said he's better than any freshman I have ever been associated with. He is so impressed with Spence. Now a 3rd and 10 for Longshore. Flanked by Jahvid Best. Longshore, he's got Tucker this time. And here goes Verran Tucker. It is a foot race. Touchdown, Cal! 76 yards, Longshore to Tucker.
Nate Longshore put the ball on the money. He got it behind the short guy and in front of the deep guy in the zone they were playing. 2 safeties deep, corners up. He got it right in between them, right on time, and then Tucker outran the secondary.
And Coach Randy Shannon was quick to get over to the referee. And the officials are talking things over.
Well, I think Randy Shannon is thinking he didn't get into the end zone, that he might have stepped out, and he wants a good hard look at that.
You know, look at the knee. Watch the knee here.
Miami coach is challenging ruling on the field, but the runner was down.
They'll look first to see, did he step out of bounds before going into the end zone? And then secondly, where was his knee down when the ball crossed the plane? Now you can make, from that angle, it's hard to tell, but it's possible that he was only at about the 2-yard line or the 1.5 yards.
Well, his right knee looks to take a divot.
Yeah.
Before he extends to the end zone.
Sure, but remember, this angle we're looking at is from the end zone, so it doesn't give us that depth perception, really, of where that ball is right now when he stretches the ball out.
We'll see if it holds up as a 76-yard touchdown or they mark it short.
I think they're going to mark him short. I mean,
after review, the ruling is the runner was down at the 2-yard line. The California's ball, first down and goal on the 2-yard line.
So a 76-yard touchdown becomes a 73-yard reception. But Cal will be knocking on the door with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, and there was no question his knee was down. The only question was, from that angle, could you make the determination that the ball did not cross the plane there? And the replay officials obviously did.
Well, they took their time, and seemed like from the replay we saw, they got it right. So the ball is spotted just over the threshold of the 2-yard line.
Give Randy Shannon a good credit for challenging that call.
Here's Best. And Best is taken down short of the goal line. Coach Randy Shannon looking for his defense to step up here.
Well, California obviously likes running inside behind Alex Mack, Dratty Award winner. Great center. A lot of their running plays are based on him.
So 2nd and goal. Best remains as the lone back. Gets the pitch and easily into the end zone. So Jahvid Best cleans it up after the review of the big play to Tucker. And Best scores from a yard out.
Yeah, not a lot to this, but a nice block on the edge by their fullback, Tyson Alu right there. He does a nice job of getting the block there. Will Taufo, I'm sorry about that. Not Tyson Alu, but 23. Taufo is out there. Great block on the edge. Makes it easy for Jahvid Best.
And Giorgio Tavecchio with the extra point. The freshman from Milano, Italy, tacks it on. 5-play drive, 76 yards. Tucker took care of 73 of them. And Best finishes it off. And Cal goes up a touchdown early on. Welcome back to the Emerald Bowl here in San Fran. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. Cal Bears go up 7-zip thanks to Nate Longshore connecting with Rand Tucker for 73 yards and setting up Jahvid Best from a yard out. Cal fans flooding to AT&T Park. And there's Giorgio Tavecchio, who went from Italy to Connecticut to Virginia to California, and 3 days before the season started to the roster of the Cal Bears.
Just walked on there.
This is a short kick that Miami fair catches. So both teams, special teams wise, staying away from the speedy return man. Ja'Cory Harris trying to get free and unable to do so. Zach Follett with the sack. Hey, what do you say pregame? It's my last game. I don't care about my body. I'm laying it out there.
Well, Zach Follett is just an impressive guy. Speed rusher on the outside, and you have to account for him. He's a pretty good open field tackler, better in the backfield than in down the field, but he was just all alone. You got to have somebody on him. That's 9.5 sacks for Follett this season.
Now a 3rd and 18 for Harris. Harris pressured again. Just trying to do it on his own, unable to find much room as Sidquan Thompson, one of the fastest players on the field, tracked him down.
Yeah, again, you know, we belabor the point, but California, 3rd down defense, they're very, very good. Here you see the zone that they drop into, and they still get pressure. That time you had Rulon Davis coming in, pressuring Harris out of the pocket. Now, that defense, 3rd down, very, very good, only giving up first downs 30% of the time.
Usher gets it away. Pressure did come. It bounces at midfield and takes a Cal bounce. And finally is hauled in at the 42-yard line. So just a 19-yard punt from the guy who was named the team MVP this year. Well, so far they've done that. Jahvid Best now. And Best with a seam. Gets past a man. Jahvid Best, touchdown, Golden Bears, 42 yards.
Now watch how he runs this. He is looking to get back here. He wants to run opposite of where Alex Mack starts that block. He cuts it back. He does this time and time again. And if you think anybody is going to catch Jahvid Best when he gets in the open, forget about it.
Tavecchio's kick is up and good. Jahvid Best, 2 touchdowns to start the night. He just turns it on and he is gone. 14-zip, Cal on top. Jahvid Best, the sophomore for the Cal Bears, who had 311 yards in the last regular season game. 4th best rushing game in Pac-10 history, is off to a dynamic start here tonight. 2 touchdowns for the Cal Bears early on.
Yeah, you see the long runs that he makes. 16 rushes of 20 yards or more this season, 10 for touchdowns, 58 yards rushing tonight already on 6 carries.
So Tavecchio back out for the kicking chores, and once again they pop it up and try to stay away from the speed of Brandon Harris, as Darryl Sharpton collects it for Miami. Harris now winds up and goes deep, and hauled in by Hankerson. Leonard Hankerson, a big spark for the Canes, 40-yard gain.
And what a nice throw by the youngster Harris. Plenty of time, had time to set his feet and wait for his man to run this slow developing route. He's in the slot, Hankerson is, and just runs a deep post. Has to wait a long time for that. Good protection. And it's one of the things we talked about. Miami needs to throw the deep ball.
You know, Quinn just talked about the momentum that the Canes defense just gave them, but the offense needed to respond. Harris just did.
That's the end of the quarter.
So it was a first quarter with the spotlight on Jahvid Best. The 1-yard touchdown run, the 42-yard touchdown run. But here in the final moments of the first stanza, a little life out of Harris and the Canes. 14-zip, Cal on top. Canes marching towards the goal when we return to San Fran. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore and Quint Kesnick. Cal Bears out to a good start in front of their home fans here, who have sold out AT&T Park, the beautiful ballpark by the bay. But Rod, maybe a little confidence boost for the true freshman Ja'Cory Harris for the Canes.
That one throw to Hankerson can give him back the confidence that might have been knocked around in the first quarter.
To throw again. Looking for Johnson, and it goes incomplete. Aldarius Johnson, who a year ago was the high school teammate of Ja'Cory Harris.
Well, he likes the fade route with him down here, and he's going against a good matchup with Sidquan Thompson. Watch how he plays this. He had great position, and he plays the ball. So many times you see a cornerback be in great position, but he doesn't play the ball. Sidquan Thompson always plays the ball.
Thompson goes 5'9", Johnson goes 6'2", but Thompson is as fast and smart of a cornerback as you'll see. Cooper on second down. A flag is down as Cooper tries to stretch it to the outside and is immediately taken down by both Thompson and Follett.
Illegal shift. 2 players moving on the offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, you know, tough deal here now. You've got a 3rd and long situation. California will bring pressure. They're in their nickel package. And if you're Miami, you must be thinking screen or draw play, you know, something that will at least keep you in range of trying to get 3 out of it, or the possibility of going for it on 4th down. But you don't want a negative play here. And California will be pushing for a negative play.
2 receivers to the top for Harris, flanked by Cooper in the backfield. A little bit of pressure, they pick it up. Harris trying to get free. Trying to get to that line, and he's got the 1st down. So he does it on his own. 9-yard gain. Darian Hagan, the cornerback, made the tackle. But the speedy Ja'Cory Harris keeps things alive for Miami.
Well, he does a nice job here, Harris does. He sees his coverage. Look, he sees the 2 safeties deep. He reads zone, and he knows that he's got something deep he can look at. He takes his time. When things break down, he doesn't panic. He looks for a better view, and then he finds the 1st down marker and heads right for it. He saw the coverage, saw there was nothing there, and made something happen.
Play action now. Harris looking for James. Incomplete.
I think James got away with a little push-off. as he got towards the end zone, but Harris is clearly starting to feel pretty good about himself. Yeah, as Eddie Young was trying to cover James down there in the end zone. He saw the separation there at the end. James kind of pushed off, got away with it, but couldn't come up with the ball at the end.
Oh, and he's going to that corner of the end zone. We're here in this baseball park. That wall comes up on you.
How about that ground out there? It's a little hard, too.
Warning track. So 2nd and 10 now. And here's Cooper with a good block out in front. And Cooper able to charge ahead inside the 10-yard line. And that Cal defense, well experienced of being in this spot, coming up big.
Yeah, they're great in the red zone. You look at the number of touchdowns they've given up, and basically 46% of the time, people score. 54% of the time, they stop them from getting touchdowns. That is phenomenal.
10th play of the drive for the Canes. Looking for Bird. Up and in. Touchdown. Ja'Cory Harris to LaRon Bird. Freshman to freshman.
You know, the amazing thing about it was Cal played it correctly. They came off and had great coverage by Darren Hagan. He just couldn't play the ball in the air. He could not get up. Bird could. And we saw just a few plays ago on the other side, Thompson was able to make the play on the ball. They had the right coverage. They just didn't make the play at the end. A phenomenal play by Bird to outleap Darren Hagan.
Bosher. Through and true. So growing up on that drive, the young Canes offense. Ja'Cory Harris, he hooked up for a 41-yard reception and then found the big bird, LaRon Bird, all 6'4" of them, hauling it in. 14-7 game. Remember back in the day, number 47 for the U, Michael Irvin. You know, new 47 is LaRon Bird, and he's got big upside. 6'4", 211 pounds, and he just hauled in the touchdown to cut this lead in half.
I'll tell you what, you wear that number, you better perform.
You better be good.
You will hear from Michael Irvin.
Yeah. He's gonna have 47 on speed dial.
Oh yeah, yeah. You better play when you wear that number, because he certainly played at Miami and with the Dallas Cowboys.
Now Bird caught the game-tying touchdown in the final minutes of regulation in a come-from-behind overtime victory at Virginia, and now does wonders for the confidence of this Miami team here in the Emerald Bowl. Jahvid Best. And Best only out to the 21. And now, Rod, for tonight's Aflac trivia question. You're a Bay Area guy, so you have a little bit of advantage on that. Jahvid Best currently leads Cal in both rushing yards and receptions this season, but who was the last player to lead Cal in both of those categories?
I'm all over.
They've had some talented players.
Yeah.
Real talented.
You know,
players.
and if you think about recent players, you know, I'll toss out a few names. How about, you know, Marshawn Lynch?
Oh, sure. How about J.J. Arrington?
Yep.
J.J. Arrington was a great one recently with the Bears.
Yeah, they have some players. They've had some running backs over the years. They really haven't used Best in the passing game yet. They have to get him involved in the passing game, if not now, in the second half.
Longshore on third down. That ball was well off the mark. Boateng was out there, but Longshore couldn't connect.
And Cal fans are starting to boo.
Well, that's nothing new.
Yeah, and they booed Longshore before, and it doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be, you know, booing college players. And Longshore stands in there, ball's off target. But Longshore and Riley have both struggled this season with accuracy. The intermediate passing game has not been good for Cal all season long.
Well, they're staying out on the field on 4th and 7, but Coach Tedford said, you know, I don't think Longshore ever got the appreciation he deserved playing through all his injuries. Timely interceptions obviously were his downfield, but he said the fans really rode him hard through his career.
Well, the fans were disappointed last year after the great start when Cal was undefeated and ranked second in the country, and then fell apart, and they blamed Longshore for a lot of it.
Now Longshore looking to get it complete to his tight end, but that's well short of a first down. That had no chance. Glenn Cook was all over Cameron Mora, but just the selection of that receiver on 4th and 7. I mean, it was well short of a first down. What was the best case scenario there, Rob?
Well, you see, Tedford did not want that. He's not happy, and that's been one of Longshore's problems, decision-making, and sometimes he's pulled out the wrong decision and gotten picked off, and there you got to throw the ball down the field. 4th down, they're going for it. They don't want you to be short of it. You know, the only guy you throw it short to in that situation is Jahvid Best, because he might make a guy miss. But anybody other than that, you got to throw beyond the marker.
So Nate Longshore hearing the Boo Birds here at AT&T Park. And now Cooper out of the backfield. He's wrapped up immediately by Sidquan Thompson. As good a defensive back as you'll see in the college game coming up. First team all Pac-10er. And a fine player for the Golden Bears now for 3 straight years.
He will be a guy that will be mentioned for national awards next season as a senior if he's around. He'll be pushed for All-America, and deservedly so. He's had a great year, was under the radar before that.
Harris to Cooper again out of the backfield and trying to catch a seam. He's out to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 8, but as the clock winds down, the one thing you get a sense of here is that Miami dodged a bullet there with that interception moments ago by Mike Muhammad.
Well, I think that's right. I think Miami has more confidence because right now they believe offensively California can't throw the ball on them. And it's all about Jahvid Best. They'll feel pretty good about the second half.
Harris, Zellner, as the clock continues to run here.
You know, not great clock management here. You had timeouts. If you're going to try and move the ball, you know, use the timeouts. If you want to get to the locker room, you know, get to the locker room.
So a timeout for Randy Shannon.
He suspended 5 players for tonight's game.
Marv, obviously the biggest name there. Chris Ivory, you see, is the long snapper. Now, he's the long snapper on punts. The snapper on the placement of kicks is still in the rotation. That's Jake Byrne, who's actually one of the backup quarterbacks with the suspension now with Marvin moves up the depth chart. So here's Harris now on what should be the last play here of the half. Cooper is running out at the 49-yard line. Interesting first half as Cal came out in front behind the running of Jahvid Best. He had 2 touchdowns, but as things went on, Rod, you got the sense that Miami starting to gain confidence and momentum.
No question, the momentum changed. It became really Miami's defense, and they started to find some confidence behind their quarterback, Harris.
Quint Kesnick.
Thanks, Joe. Coach Tedford, Jahvid Best, terrific performance from where you sit. How do you characterize what you've seen from him?
Oh, he's doing a great job. The times he's had the ball in his hands has been great. You know, probably need to get it to him a little bit more.
Will you stay with Nate Longshore, or will we see Kevin Riley?
Oh no, Nate will continue to play. He's doing just fine. We got to protect him a little bit better. He's had a lot of pass rush on him. We got to protect him better.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Joe.
Nate Longshore, 6 of 15, 92 yards. Jahvid Best has been on, but Miami with a little momentum in the second quarter. 14-7 our score. Now let's join Reese Davis, Lou Holtz, Mark Main, Tommy Bowden in the studio for the Flomax halftime report. Welcome back to the 2008 Emerald Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week. Our score at the half, the Cal Golden Bears up a touchdown, 14-7. They jumped out 14-zip. Thanks to 2 touchdowns by Jahvid Best, but Miami with a comeback there in the second quarter. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. Rod, this had the look of a game that maybe could get away from Miami, but the maturity of the true freshman. It's hard to balance there to say that statement, but Ja'Cory Harris, the poise, he looked very good in that second quarter.
He didn't look like a freshman at all. I mean, he looked like a veteran quarterback as he found his rhythm after he got Leonard Hankerson on a big pass play. Came back a little later with LaRon Byrd for a touchdown pass, and the guy just matured as the game went on. No question about Jahvid Best being mature. That guy was all over the field, running for more than 100 yards against California, making guys miss time and time again. And California discovered that he can be very, very successful when they use him outside. Look at the chart you have on him. To the left, 8-yard average. To the right, a 21-yard average. not much going when they run him inside up the middle. You can bet he's going to touch the ball a lot more in the second half.
Jahvid Best, one of the most dynamic players in all of college football. 10 carries for 106 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but the play calling, they sort of did it to themselves. That's when Miami got the best of them. And once again, special teams, both teams staying away from the speedy return man as Daryl Sharpton had the fair catch. So here are the first half stats and the rushing yards for Cal, and obviously Miami, the time of possession, balancing that out.
Well, the rushing yards for Miami is a problem. That puts more pressure on Harris to have a big game, and that may be too much. They're going to have to find a way to move the football either on the ground or with short passes to take a little bit of pressure off of Harris.
So Ja'Cory Harris with an opportunity here in the second half to keep that momentum going. Greg Cooper is wrapped up right away by Tony Felder. And this 3-4 defense that Cal switched to this year really pays off with the athleticism of their backers. Quint.
Joe spoke to Randy Shannon at halftime, very happy with their resiliency. On Jahvid Best, said two things. A, we got to tackle. When you get a shot at the guy, you got to wrap him up. Second, he said, we're going to commit 8 or 9 guys to the box if Cal's passing game doesn't become a threat. I asked him about Ja'Cory Harris. Most pleased with his ability to check down and throw some dump-offs. And you'll notice Miami moving the pocket a little more in the second half.
Harris over the middle. And that ball is complete to Bird. Right to midfield and beyond for a first down, a 20-yard gain.
How many throws and catches do you think those two have made together over the years in high school in their freshman year here at Miami?
Ron Bird, the freshman, 6'4". We told you wearing that number 47, just like Michael Irvin once did. And a bright future with a young quarterback and the young receiver. You stack him with Aldarius Johnson. And here is Lee Chambers, the redshirt freshman, getting in. Well, Rod, you know, there's got to be an end to the rainbow, right? We showed you the punting over the wall, McCovey's Cove.
Yep.
You know, all the kayakers out there trying. Look at this. This is a practice yesterday. Our baseballs are trying to catch.
Come on, Quint, catch one.
That is Quint Kesnick, and he hauled in one of the balls. Reminds me of the Major League All-Star game a few years ago here with all the kayakers out there. So just one of the unique,
that's good stuff.
Charming settings here for the College Bowl season. Harris now, pressure from Alu. And he gets it complete again, and this time he hooks up with Aldarius Johnson, who he did so many times in high school. Hey, Quint, good kayaking out there.
Joe, let me tell you, first of all, the water was frigid. The folks at City Kayak hooked me up. I had all the gear. I felt like a pro. Once I was out there, though, it was almost like I was immobile. When the balls were kicked to the side, there was no way I could get them. If you come and watch the Giants play, you'll see the kayakers, they stay back, and then on a home run, they're watching on TV or listening on the radio. On a home run, they move their kayaks forward to try to get the souvenirs.
Now, Quint, all those years of being a star lacrosse goalie paying off with your stick play there. Looking for Johnson again, but it falls incomplete. But you can see Ja'Cory Harris just gaining confidence, his willingness to air it out now, Rod.
Well, yeah, that play is one thing, but how about the previous play throwing over the middle? Now, Chris Conte is a big corner, 6'3", 200. Johnson's not going to out-jump him. Conte's going to play that. But you're right about Harris. He's taking chances now. He's throwing the ball over the middle, moving to his right, throwing back to his left across the middle. That's danger zone. He got away with it. And now he's putting the ball up on fade routes, just assuming his guys will make the play. But Chris Conte is too big for that.
Second down and 10. Conte actually broke his thumb in the Washington game and had surgery from the end of the regular season to this bowl game. And here's Chambers. And Lee Chambers driving ahead for a 5-yard gain. He was taken down by Mike Muhammad, who had an interception in the first half.
That's the broken thumb. That's why he wasn't able to pick off 2 passes that he got his hands on.
Now, Rod, you played college ball at Stanford in that position, cornerback. How hard is it to play with an injury like that and wearing the protective gear?
I couldn't catch a ball with 2 hands, 2 good hands. So.
That's why you were on that side of the field, right?
I don't know how you can do it with a thumb wrapped up like that.
So a 3rd and 4. Collier in motion. First down, Chambers, and inside the 10-yard line. 18 yards from Lee Chambers.
Oh, what a great job up front at the point of attack. Watch number 70 to the right of your screen right here. Watch that great block, and then watch the hole open up. There's a nice job done inside by Trump, number 70, A.J. Trump. Tremendous block, and a great read by McNeil running in behind that.
Also the coach's son, Xavier Shannon, the center, getting in the mix there. A big A.J. Trump, a junior from Clearwater, Florida, paving the way there. Chambers again. Taken down by Warrell Williams, the linebacker for Cal, whose brother DJ Williams was a star linebacker at Miami. They got to whittle down his college choices between these two teams. Of course, DJ, great player for the Broncos. They got a big game coming up.
Test down here. Miami likes the fade route. They got a touchdown with one earlier.
Remember, they're heading to that end zone where there's only a yard and a half before you hit that wall of what would be left field. Chambers again on the stretch. No running room as Williams rides him out, saddled up to Chambers, and just drove him out of bounds.
They chose to run to the short side of the field. And they're getting single coverage to the left side, but they don't like that. They think they have an advantage here. California doing a nice job at point of attack. Mike Muhammad holding the edge there at the linebacker spot, stretching that play out. Nothing there for Miami. Again, they like fade routes down here, but not a lot of room unless you want to run into the left field wall.
Big LaRon Bird to the top of the screen on 3rd and goal. Harris with time over the middle and is caught for a touchdown by Collier. Theron Collier with the touchdown catch. And how about the youngin, Ja'Cory Harris?
I tell you what, he may very well be the starting quarterback next season for Miami. He's played with poise, he's thrown the ball with authority, and he just puts that one right on the money. You can just see the confidence, not only his, but his teammates' confidence in him as the game progresses.
And now Matt Bosher to tie the game. And he does so.
Since about halfway through the first quarter, this game has belonged to Miami. Momentum has been on their side.
Youth is served. Ja'Cory Harris to Theron Collier. Tie game in San Fran. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, and Quint Kesnick. Now there's the Bay Bridge, not far away from AT&T Park, where we got a tie ball game. Rod, that's not typically the traffic you get heading home, is it?
That's 4 a.m. traffic.
You're usually sitting in that traffic, texting me about something college football-wise. And right now, I think the thing everybody's buzzing about is Ja'Cory Harris. He just hooked up with Theron Collier to tie this game. The story on Harris, a true freshman from Northwestern High, where he won the national championship of high school football, was unbeaten, and now start tonight because of the suspension of Robert Marve. And Jahvid Best just slips and goes down there on the return.
Talking about Harris, I mean, yeah, his confidence since that completion to Hankerson, that 41-yarder, he's been great. I mean, before that, he was 3 of 6 for 4 yards. Since that completion, 14 of 21 for 141 yards.
Yeah, this looked like a game where Cal and Jahvid Best and the speedy linebackers, they were going to get all over Miami. But Harris, who's so calm, so cool, he hooked up with Hankerson in the second quarter for a 41-yarder, and he's been hot ever since. Jahvid Best getting back to work. Here goes Jahvid Best. Trying to keep his balance, but he couldn't. To the 46-yard line. But a big burst First again from Jahvid Best. He goes for 28 yards.
It's that right side. We talked about it with the graphic. We showed you how he gets so much, and then he loves to cut back. Look at the great block he gets here. And how about Alex Mack over there, clearing out a huge lane for him. Great blocking at the point of attack, and he was just a little bit away from breaking that one all the way.
Big Alex Mack, the center, sealing that up. The Drady Award winner, the academic Heisman. Longshore now, he's pressured, but he goes over the middle and throws it short and incomplete of Jeremy Ross. And listen to this crowd.
Let's go back to that last play. You want to see a center do a great job. We showed you one angle. Now watch this straight up. This is a center who is athletic, who uses his agility and great skill to just seal off someone inside. And that time he handles Dwayne Hendrick tremendously. That's why you're an All-America. That's why you're a Drady Award winner. That's why you're going to be a guy who's likely to be drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round. Great skill.
Coaches say that you cannot say enough good things about Mack, both as a player and a person. And Miami is going to use a timeout early on here as Mack leads the way for that offensive line of the Cal Bears. When Jahvid Best is running behind Mack, they are tough to stop. Tie ball game here in the Emerald Bowl. Nate Longshore is just 7 of 18 for 95 yards. And keep in mind, Rod, that 74 of those yards came on one single play to Verran Tucker, where Tucker just got loose and ran for a good 64 of them.
Yeah, they are struggling would be an understatement for the Cal passing attack. Right
well, here's a test now for Longshore on 3rd and 10. Has plenty of time. Gets it to Boateng, and a first down by Nyan Boateng. Transferred to Cal from Florida, played there as a true freshman for the Gators. And he is a very fine athlete when they get him involved.
Yeah, they use a crossing route here, clear out for him, and he just runs across the field. Longshore waits on him. That's something that can get your confidence going. But they have to find a way to throw the ball. Otherwise, his offense will stall. You can't have Jahvid Best carry the ball every single play against a 9-man front staring him in the face.
Best led the Pac-10 in all-purpose yards. And he's been the only answer for Cal tonight. And now Boateng, as that ball is a catch at the 30-yard line. It'll be short of a first down. Brandon Harris had coverage.
Yeah, and Boateng is upset with himself because he didn't run the route deep enough. You know, one more yard. You know, it's a little comeback, curl and come back to the quarterback, does the right thing, but you got to run the route deep enough. They didn't, and now it's field goal time. They have a pretty good field goal kicker, a lot of confidence in his ability to nail it.
This will be a 47-yard attempt by Giorgio Tavecchio, and now a timeout by Miami.
Team timeout.
As they want to discuss things here, a 4th and 1 from the 30, so it's that portion of the field where you need to be very much aware defensively.
Well, not only that, the field can get a little bit wet. It's rained here this week. You know, you worry about placing the ball, everything being clean, so you can get one up for a distance like this. And that's a 47-yarder. That's not an easy kick.
So here's 4th and 1.
Right thing to do to go for it here.
And the right guy to give it to Best to the edge. And Jahvid Best fighting his way inside the 10-yard line.
Is he a treat to watch or what?
Tack on another 25 yards to his total.
He does a great job, but you know, to run outside, you have got to get a block on the edge. He gets a block on the edge and a seal, and that's all she wrote. If you get the block on the edge, Jahvid Best will get you every single time. That was a great job on the edge. Great blocking by Tad Smith, who goes at about 6'5", 265.
Well, he is the offense tonight. 158 yards from Best. Best looking for that lead block, looking for the end zone, and he's just short. Inside the 1-yard line goes Jahvid Best.
And Tess, if you think his game is all about speed, you're mistaken. And Jahvid Best is a tough runner. I mean, watch him fight here at the end. He tries to finish this run. Yeah, he's got a hole. Now watch him lower the shoulder, finish the run. He doesn't get knocked sideways, doesn't get knocked backwards. He finishes the run against Ryan Hill.
2nd and goal now.
10th play of this drive.
Ross is in motion. Here's Best. And Miami able to get to him that time. As Ryan Hill came up along with Alan Bailey. And Cal be facing a 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and they're going heavy set, bringing in more tight ends here. And I think that long run to get to the huddle, that eats up some time. They're down to 20 seconds on this play clock, so they got to hurry up and get out of the huddle.
Remember, both teams on the same sideline here because of the configuration of this being a baseball park, and Cal on the opposite side of where their team is. So that heavy package, those big guys have to run a long way to get there. Here's 3rd and goal. Riley stumbles and falls back. Excuse me, Longshore stumbles and falls back. And the night continues for the Cal quarterback, who just can't get anything going his way, and the crowd reacts again.
Yeah, he just got stepped on. One of his linemen looked like it was either Boscovich or Matt who stepped back and got on it.
Boy, does that just sum up the year the quarterback play for Cal, be it Kevin Riley or Nate Longshore, stumbling back. So in comes Giorgio Tavecchio from 23 yards out. And the lefty puts it through. So Jahvid Best with the conversion of the 4th down. Gets him down, knock it on the door. But on 3rd down, Longshore stumbles back and they have to settle for 3. But nonetheless, Cal takes the lead. And now an opportunity for the ACC to shine here if Miami can get something going here in the late goings against Cal, a Cal team that everybody talked about as having the home field advantage here in the Bay Area and the superior veteran talent. Here's Brandon Harris looking for something, turns it around and then goes back up that same near side, but is taken down just over the 20 by Charles Amati. Greg Cooper, and Cooper with a big burst up the middle. Out to the 31, just short of that 1st down marker, taken down by Marcus Ezef.
Miami has outplayed California in this ball game today. But for the start that Jahvid Best had in that 1st quarter, Miami has had control of the game, certainly passing and certainly their defense, since that 1st quarter.
Well, there's the Cal production today.
Yeah.
Jahvid Best,
Yep.
167 yards, 2 touchdowns in the 1st half, and then a key big gainer on that last possession as they measure here. And it is just short of the 1st down.
And you think about Jahvid Best and 1,400 yards rushing this year, and he missed a game and a half. And coming off a season where he was banged up with a bad hip last year and it lingered this season into other injuries. What might he do next season completely healthy?
Well, Jahvid Best has to be on the short list of Heisman candidates for next year.
He might run for 2,000 yards next season.
Now, much like J.J. Arrington did, and Marshawn Lynch was sensational, but they say of all the great backs that they've had there at Cal, Jahvid is the fastest.
Oh, it's not even close.
End of 3 quarters here at AT&T Park as a field goal separates them. A big night for Jahvid Best, but Miami and Ja'Cory Harris full of confidence. Which way will it go? Should be a good one down the stretch. Stay with us. 2008 Emerald Bowl, part of ESPN's presentation of Capital One Bowl Week at a sold-out AT&T Park, home of the Major League Baseball San Francisco Giants. And Home to a heck of a football game tonight between Cal and Miami, as Cal's Jahvid has put on a show, and Miami's true freshman quarterback Jahvid Harris is grown up in front of our eyes. 2nd and 1 now for the Canes. Cooper fumbles the ball, but able to fall on it. A flag comes down.
Hey, the officials already signal holding against Miami. It looks like Miami recovered the fumble.
Holding, offense, number 55. That's a 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Randy Shannon's son Xavier, coach's son, with the holding there on the 2nd and 1.
What do you say to Dad when you make a mistake?
You don't go back to the sideline. You walk. You know that 60-yard walk we're talking about, because they're so far away with the configuration here at the ballpark? You walk 70 yards.
Yeah.
You walk an extra 10 yards away from them.
Wait till I get you home, son. Yep, this one comes out right away. Cooper can't hang on to it, but he scrambles to get it back. Great hustle play.
So it goes from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 11 here. And they still go with Cooper. And he plows ahead to the 26-yard line, a 6-yard gain.
Well, Jahvid Harris has really been the story for Miami's offense tonight. The backup quarterback has become the frontline guy. Once he hit Hankerson for that long pass of 41 yards, his confidence grew. He made every throw, whether he was on the move or sitting in the pocket, including a touchdown pass to Theron Collier. He's been the main guy because the running game hasn't been there, but it's been his arm that's kept Miami in this ballgame.
Harris now sprinting away from that pressure and gets it complete to Benjamin for a 1st down. So a good look at what Harris is able to do when you get him out of that pocket. Quint mentioned that that was the intention here.
Yeah, and what did Harris tell us yesterday? He said, I don't get nervous. The pressure doesn't bother me. I just go play. Well, that's what he's been doing since about midway through the 1st quarter. He's just been playing. Whether he's in the pocket or rolling out of it or scrambling, he hasn't lost his composure at any point in time.
Fresh set of downs for the Canes. Running into the punter, and then the completion. Harris to Travis Benjamin. And now changing up the play here with under 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Chambers. He has running room, gets to the edge, and Lee Chambers is becoming a bit of a factor here. 10-yard gain there. Taken down by Ezef.
You know, Tess, I mentioned earlier that Miami needed to throw more on 1st down. Well, part of that was because Cal was kind of loading up to stop the run. They changed the play this time when they see that Cal is bringing the blitz inside. Nice recognition, great audible by Harris to change to a running play to get outside of where the pressure was coming. I know Miami only has 14 points, but it feels like they've controlled things offensively for about 2 quarters now.
It does. I mean, Cal jumped out to that 14-zip lead where they were rolling with Best, but Miami has found their stride. And now Harris connects with the fullback Hill, and Hill is out at about the 23-yard line. 2nd and 4 now. Play action. Harris, plenty of time downfield, and has it complete. And once again, he goes to LaRon Byrd, the 6'4" freshman target.
Well, they do a nice job of moving him away from the pressure. They get him out of the pocket, which gives him the ability to have a nice view of Byrd on this out route. As he comes back to him, he's got an unobstructed view of Byrd because they moved him out of the pocket. And California has not gotten any hits on Harris in quite a while.
How relaxed is this kid playing this position, Rod?
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, you know, 1st quarter they were banging him around. They have not been close to him in quite a while now.
1st and goal. To pass again. Zellner, the tight end, trying to cut back against the grain, but there was not much running room at all.
Well, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Patrick Nix, the offensive coordinator, for changing things up, for moving the launch point for the quarterback, moving him left, moving him right, and also making sure that he's mixing it up on first down. He got away from running it on first down to loosen up the Cal defense. He kind of got a beat on what they were doing defensively, and now Miami has been rolling for a while now.
Of course, Patrick Nix, best known as the starting quarterback for some great Auburn teams back in the early 90s. And now watching the maturing and development of a young quarterback here with the Canes. To the corner of the end zone for Bird. Off his fingertips. Incomplete. Sidquan Thompson going toe-to-toe with LaRon Bird.
Yeah, you know, it's all about matchups. They like to throw the fade. This is not the right matchup. Sidquan Thompson plays the ball in the air very well. You can run the fade, but you got to run it to the other side. You can't do it on this guy. He's going to fight and scrap with the balls in the air. That's why he's a first-team All-Pac-10 defensive back.
So now, this big Cal crowd trying to generate some noise at the beautiful ballpark by the Bay on 3rd and goal. Harris. The rush is on, over the middle, Benjamin. He cannot shake free, taken down at the 5-yard line by Chris Conte.
Cal did a nice job of bringing pressure, but sitting in the zone and reading the quarterback's eyes. You know, one of the great things that Harris has done is he hasn't really turned over the football since that one pick. A lot of pressure there. Cal sitting in the zone, but still a nice safe pass preserves the field goal opportunity to tie the game.
And here's the young man who had the breakout season. They named him the team MVP, and now the pressure on Matt Bosher. A short chip shot, 22-yarder to tie the game. And he just sneaks it through. So another clutch drive from Ja'Cory Harris, the true freshman, leads them down the field, tack on the field goal, and we're all tied up in San Fran. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, Quint Kesnick with you in San Fran. We got a good one here in the Emerald Bowl, 17-17, fourth quarter. Jahvid Best from the 6. And Best with a decent return to set up the Cal offense here. 9:08 left in regulation. Tie game at the Emerald Bowl. Beautiful shot there of Union Square, all lit up for the holidays here in downtown San Francisco. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, Quint Kesnick at the Emerald Bowl, a game that has lived up to the hype. People thought it'd be a very good matchup of a young Miami team that's coming around and trying to get themselves back to national prominence, and a Cal team loaded with talent. And here's the most talented of them all, Jahvid Best, breaking free again. The big night continues for Best, 29 yards on that run.
He got up slowly at the end of that run and is walking toward the sidelines, though. But we talked about his ability to run through tackles. He's got great acceleration. Arm tackling him really doesn't work because of his speed. And he blows through arm tackles. There were 6 missed tackles on Jahvid Best tonight.
Best up to 187 yards on 19 carries, and you can see him off on the sideline there as they are tending to him. So Shane Vereen comes in, dotting the I, Longshore hands off to Vereen, and he's got some speed too. Out to the 45. Let's look at how Best came down at the end of this last play, Rod.
Yeah, a little bit awkward, comes down on that left elbow and looks like his right hand. And that elbow is the one that he dislocated.
He's been dealing with the elbow, the ankle, the foot. This offseason it was the hip. They contemplated surgery for Best. So they are checking out that right hand. And that's the best news the Miami defense could ever have.
Shane Vereen is a pretty good running back, but this guy, Jahvid Best, is outstanding. Look where he ranks. You know, in single season rushing among Cal running backs, ahead of Justin Forsett, behind J.J. Arrington, ahead of Marshawn Lynch.
And Jeff Tedford has had a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 7 seasons. Now Marshawn Lynch, J.J. Arrington, some of the greats to come through. Now 3rd and 1. Vereen again, this time on the pitch. And he is marked short of the first down as the senior Glenn Cook, who leads the team in tackles, the team captain, and one of the real leaders of this very young defense, comes up big.
Well, you know, when you have a lead blocker out there like Taufoa, you've got issues, but Miami handled it well. Cook doing a nice job. The speed of Miami's defense showing up, and as tempted as Tedford might have been to go for it on 4th down, this is the right call. You got to kick the field goal to go ahead with 4.5 minutes in the ball game.
So that tackle by Cook sends Giorgio Tavecchio out to try to break this tie from 34. And it is no good. The freshman who joined the team just 3 days before the season opener had a chance to make the kick of the year for him. And he came up short. Still tied in San Fran. We got a exciting one here tonight, coming down to possibly a similar ending. Lower scoring, defense has played a key role as we've watched the emergence of young Ja'Cory Harris, the quarterback for Miami, to pass on 1st down, and that is overthrown. He was trying to go to his old high school teammate, Aldarius Johnson.
I still like the idea of throwing the ball on 1st down because Cal loads up the box on him. Just a little bit out of range. Now, in the second half of this ball game, Lee Chambers has been a big running back for Miami. 59 yards on 7 carries. He might be the option here on 2nd down to shorten that distance for getting a 1st down.
Just 4:20 to go in regulation. Here is Chambers. And only managing a couple of yards there. Well, you want to talk about Harris in the clutch, the true freshman. Let me take you back to November 1st at Virginia. Rallying the Hurricanes. Sending it deep here on the scramble to LaRon Bird. Had tied things up with under a minute to play. Then in overtime to Aldarius Johnson, helping the Canes win 24-17. He likes the clutch time. He prefers the pressure.
We're talking about a quarterback who's won 2 high school state championships, an overtime game in his freshman season, and also a coming-of-age game against Duke in which he threw 4 touchdown passes to bring his team back.
Now on 3rd down, a little too much pressure. Ball is loose, scooped up, and wrapped out of bounds. Cameron Jordan picked it up. The pressure came off the edge, and Harris couldn't hold on as Zach Follett came crashing in, and then Cameron Jordan came up with a big play for the Bears.
It's Zach Follett making the play. And watch the left side of your screen. Watch him as he gets separation and beats his man and forces the play. A ball held a little bit too loosely by Harris, but Zach Follett made the play, and Rulon Davis comes up with it, but it's all about Zach Follett coming up with a big play for California.
And that's a painful look on Miami fans. Costly turnover.
Yeah, California, though, has to be careful. Jahvid Best, remember, has the bad thumb. He hurt the last time he was out there. If you run Best down here, to make sure he secures the football. He hasn't had a chance to practice carrying that ball. He got taped up and came back in. A lot of stuff happens around the goal line. He's going to have 2 arms around it.
1st and goal. Here's Best. He stopped there. His armor came up, as did Robinson. Quint, what did you see with Jahvid Best in that injury?
Well, they taped up his right wrist and thumb. He didn't like the way the tape felt against the ball on the sideline, so he put a 2nd glove over that tape. Keep in mind, he wears the elbow brace on his dislocated elbow, and now he's got the bad hand. Ball security could be an issue.
Good observation, Quint. And that could play to the confidence in the back in this goal line situation, too. Here's 2nd and goal now. Long short of pass. Touchdown, Cal. Best was best, but then when they wanted it, they went to Longshore, and he went to Anthony Miller for the score.
But keep your eye on number 5, Mora, and where is he throwing the ball? It looks like he was trying to go to Mora, or Mora got in the way of it, but instead he gets it to Anthony Miller, the freshman from San Jose, for the touchdown.
He is a freshman who they use in the goal line packages.
A lot of receivers in that area. I thought he was looking at Mora.
And Savecchio. Moments ago, he missed the field goal that could have given them the lead, but the defense stepped up. Zach Follett with the sack, the forced fumble. Cameron Jordan scooped it up, and then Miller scores it here. And this has been a very entertaining one here in San Fran, playing for that Emerald Bowl trophy. The hometown fans, Cal just 12 miles away, enjoying the lead right now as Anthony Miller just hauled it in from Nate Longshore after the turnover forced by Zach Follett and scooped up by Cameron Jordan by the Cal defense. Travis Benjamin from the 12. Benjamin trying to find some running room out across the 30.
And Tess, let's go back to the touchdown pass to Anthony Miller. He's situated right here. He's going to make his way to the back of the end zone right there, and you're going to have Mora come this way. I think Longshore sees Miller and in the back of the end zone. He's got 2 guys there. I think he spots him right here, but Mora's right there as well. Mora almost catches that ball, or almost deflects it before it gets to Miller, because they had so many guys in the same area. But I think Longshore saw Miller along the back line.
What a roller coaster ride it's been for Nate Longshore. Could that be the game decider in his senior year? And Miami going to the run here, with just 2.5 minutes left in the game. Lee Chambers, and once again Zach Follett coming up big.
Well, you really got to start moving. 2:22 to go here. 1 timeout. You really shouldn't be running the ball right now. You got to start running. Your quarterback has been really good handling that.
True freshman, Ja'Cory Harris. Now he slings it and gets it complete to Zellner, but that's a minimum gain on what was 2nd and 11. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6 as Mike Muhammad, fine linebacker for Cal, with the tackle there.
Yeah, they need to manage the clock now. They should have a play call. They should be at the line of scrimmage. They only have 1 timeout, so time can run off quickly. They have to be more efficient.
3rd and 6. Clock down to 1:41. Harris, little screen, and Chambers is short of a 1st down. Cameron Jordan able to secure him.
Yeah, but you got to go for it here, and you should have a play. If you don't have a play, it's worth it to call a timeout. But they should have a play that they can use now, but don't waste the entire clock.
No, they're taking a lot of time for 9 yards of offense here in these last few plays. So here's 4th and 1. Ja'Cory to the air, complete for a 1st down to Zellner. But that clock down to a minute right now.
Now they'll get the clock stopped as they measure. You'll see Zellner just slip out to the outside, clearly picking up the 1st down. You see our 1st down marker there. Too long.
Running now.
Too long.
Harris taking a lot of time. He is pressured. Gonna run it himself. Stays in bounds as he was starting to lose control of the ball. Secured it for 5 yards. Miami only with a timeout left. Remember, they called 2 timeouts in the 3rd quarter.
And that's a young mistake. You need to throw that football away. It's not worth it to pick up 4 or 5 yards running the ball. You're better off throwing the ball away and stopping the clock. Now they're burning through all this time, and they have 1 timeout. They're making this tougher than it needs to be.
What a favor they're doing for Cal. Harris. Now he just airs it out. But only 12 seconds left in the game.
They burned about 35, 40 seconds there to get 6 yards on a rushing play. You just have to be better in your 2-minute offense. There's nothing more important than managing the clock, using your timeouts, and making sure your quarterback is prepared to handle the last 2 minutes of a ball game.
Well, now he's calling a timeout.
Timeout.
Now, the good news for the Canes is that you see all the freshman talent on the field tonight. You've seen what Harris has done. We've highlighted some of the freshman receivers. #1 recruiting class in the country hit the field this year, and they're working on a top 10 class coming up for the signing period. And Coach Shannon is committed to the future of a little baptism by fire, getting out there on the field and improving things now. But the time management in the past couple minutes hasn't worked their way. Just 12 seconds to go. Harris, pressure right up the middle from Alualu. Downfield and complete. No, that is incomplete. Hankerson had it right at him, made a good stab at it, but it goes incomplete. 5 seconds to go. Coach Randy Shannon's first bowl game for the Canes. Jeff Tedford looking for a solid postseason win here.
Randy Shannon would like to have some of that time back that they lost on this drive.
Harris. And he goes down, laterals it. And Cooper still on his feet before he is tackled and pushed by Mike Muhammad. There out of bounds. As Cal celebrates the Bay Area team in their backyard. A sold-out AT&T Park with most of the fans wearing that blue and gold on a night when Jahvid Best was a star again. The Capital One player of the game going for a $186 and a couple of scores.
He's as good as advertised, and I still believe he is the most explosive running back in college football. Only a sophomore. He's in line to have a big season next year, and California is in line to be a pretty good team next season as well.
Let's head down to the field and Quint Kesnick. Quint.
Coach Tedford, you nearly put that game away early. It got very interesting late. What ultimately made the difference?
Well, our defense played very well. The turnover was a big thing. Total team effort. Got a lot of respect for Miami's team. Coach Shannon and their staff does a great job. They got a lot of athletes over there. But the defense really stepped up.
How do you best characterize the play of Jahvid Best?
Well, he's got a lot of heart. You know, there's no question that he has ability and talent, but the guy's got tremendous heart.
For you, 6 consecutive bowl games. Your record in those games, 5-1. What does that say about the program at Cal?
Well, it says that we have great players and great people. You know, our staff. I got to give it to our staff. Our staff does a great job of preparing these guys and putting them in a position to win, and our guys play very, very hard.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Joe.
Thanks, Quint. Jahvid Best. What a night for him, as well as Alex Mack, the academic All-American, opening up those holes. 186 yards and a couple of scores. And he is definitely a player to watch next year in college football. Our final score from the Emerald Bowl, Cal 24-17 in an entertaining game. For more on this game, you can tune in to ESPN News. Rod and I will have a post-game extra. Coming up next here on ESPN at Sports Center. For Rod Gilmore, Quint Kesnick, and our entire crew, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for watching. Cal a winner here in San Fran.